Today, I am learning the most important Counter-Strike 2 skills that every player should know. And as a certified noob, I'm gonna master Counter-Strike in 24 hours. And when the 24 hours is up, I'm gonna verse a pro player to see if I got any better. So let's start off by learning some essential smokes. I only play Mirage and I never knew how to smoke mid in CSGO. So just by learning the smoke, I'm becoming 1% better. So if I look at this angle while next to this trash can and hold D while I jump throw, this should make it to Sniper's Nest. That's the most important Mirage smoke. Let's go learn some more important smokes like this one on Inferno. If you go to this wall and aim at the corner of the church, you'll be able to cover yourself from CT. To smoke window from spawn on Ancient, walk up to this pillar, aim at the top of the 4th tile, and jump throw, and it will land perfectly in window. For overpass, you just walk up into this corner, look right here and a little bit to the left, and then just simply left click. You're gonna be able to smoke heaven just like that. And they say that one-ways got removed from CS2, but I found this TikTok for a connector one-way on Mirage, which allows you to cross-cat and be able to spray through connector like so. Oh, actually, I can't spray in Counter-Strike 2. The spray patterns are supposedly the exact same as CSGO, but I don't want to believe that. I'm not proud of this. That's why I have to practice my sprays. So I practiced controlling the first 10 bullets, and then I started spraying the entire clip to get used to it in CS2. And the only way to tell if this will work is in a game, because there is nothing new to learn. But spraying will be completely useless if I'm not alive. And positioning will be my best friend to staying alive. Positioning is supposed to make your shot as easy as possible to hit and the opponents as hard as possible. First way I practiced this was by building my knowledge on the sites I play and finding the best spot to hold an angle and not be exposed. Like on Mirage A, I'm gonna play triple because I can hold connector and only be spotted from connector, or I can hold palace and only be spotted palace, or I can peek ramp and still see all the angles I'm exposed to. And the second way was holding angles in deathmatch. The only thing I have to worry about is getting swung on. So I'm gonna fight fire with fire and learn how to properly wide swing, because apparently peeker's advantage is huge right now in Counter-Strike 2. So I practice this in deathmatch by just playing aggressive and swinging angles, and I still have 20 hours left. Off with something easy, like this iconic self-boost spot that has become super easy in Counter-Strike 2. If you're a noob, you have to learn this, okay? By just jumping from balcony to these tiles and then strafing to this corner pillar. It takes 5 minutes to learn this, and now you have a weird spot to hold for entries, which is actually the next thing I have to learn. I'm growing up, okay? I don't want to be the lurker that baits anymore, but I actually don't even know what an entry frag is supposed to do. Like, I kind of have an idea, so I'm gonna watch a video by the one and only Warl. I took a photo actually with Warl once, and he seemed super uncomfortable. So I'm sorry, Warl, for whatever I've done. Maybe writing that bull in front of you wasn't the best first impression. So I practiced being an entry, just playing aggressive, but what will really make me a better Counter-Strike player is improving my game sense. So I got to thinking, what would be the fastest way to improve my game sense? And then it clicked. Reviewing the demo of my latest match and taking notes. I know, very boring. But by doing this, I realized that I never try to make my 1v1s unfair. Like, I should have fallen off here and used utility, but instead I just stayed exposed and died. What made me really insecure was my crosshair placement when I peeked. That shit's horrendous. Like, why am I aiming at the ground when I'm peeking this angle? I'm fixing that right now for skill 8. Being able to pre-aim the enemy before peeking greatly improves the chances of winning the duel and getting info. So I tryharded in deathmatch by just pre-aiming angles before I peek to train that muscle memory. But this skill and the next skill actually go hand in hand, which is following heads. Following heads, also known as tracking, is practically being able to keep your crosshair on the enemy's head. This has been a personal problem since the start of my CS journey. So I just sat down and followed bots' heads, and this also indirectly helped my crosshair placement by teaching me to keep my crosshair up. But now that raises the question, what if you can't aim? Good thing there's boost. Learning boosts on every map can get you some free rounds. So here are a few unique CS2 boosts that I learned, which you can easily do with your teammates. And while I'm showing you these, if you're enjoying the video, drop a like because it's only about to get better. Let's move on to something more interesting. Strafe jumps. Strafe jumps fall under the category of movement, which as a whole takes hundreds of hours just to master, which I don't got the time for. That's why I practiced all of the easiest strafe jumps on the map I play the most, Mirage, and movement felt so off for me, just like economy. This is the most interesting update because matches went from 16 rounds to win to 13 rounds to win. Every round is even more crucial now, so don't be that guy who does not buy with their team. Pay attention to your team's buys and learn when to eco, force buy, and full save. And now that we have good economy to afford weapons, let's learn how to use utility in CS2. Party trick with smokes now is being able to nade them to make them temporarily disappear. You can also do this by shooting the edges, which creates a pocket in the smoke for you to see through. Smokes are also less effective in stopping Molotovs this update. In CT, if you walk up against this chair and aim at the far right white mark, it smokes T stairs, which helps a little bit in peeking mid. The reason I'm showing this is because now they've removed sky barriers in CS2, meaning you could do cross map smokes just like this. The only other thing to learn is the fundamental of flashes, like pop flashing and how to flash yourself in without exposing yourself to that flash. But if I don't have utility, how can I get info without risking my life? Wow, I'm glad you asked, because that's actually the 14th skill I'm learning. Shouldering, better known as shoulder peeking. Without flashes, the other option you could do is test the angle by giving the enemy a sliver of your shoulder, and eventually they'll bite and take a shot. If you don't get shot at after a few shoulders, you can now wide swing or do a peek that we'll learn on skill number 21. So I thought the best way to practice this was to harass people in deathmatch by constantly shouldering them and working on not overexposing myself. But I am about to expose myself to all of the movement players out there. I want to learn how to BHOP in CS2, and I suck at it. So to prove that I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna land 7 BHOPs in a row. I didn't think it would take this long, to be honest with you, but this doesn't feel real. The movement in CS2, awful. Like, what's different? Like, I don't know what's different. It might be in my head, but I feel like the movement in CS2 feels awful. Like in CSGO, it feels way easier. I haven't played this game since I got beta access, and I already hit the BHOPs in like the first 2 minutes. So maybe just don't BHOP. Let's work on a different movement category. No one wants to be that guy clogging up ladder by walking up slowly. Just by holding W and A or W and D, depending on the angle, you'll go flying up the ladder. It's like going sideways and forward at the same time. That's double the speed on the ladder. I didn't know that before, to be honest. I had to get a friend to make me a guide for this, and I can honestly feel myself improving already. But there's been one thing holding back my aim a ton, and that's my sensitivity. Because with my low sensitivity, it's impossible to entry and clear every angle. So I practiced using a 20% higher sensitivity on bots, and I regret not doing this earlier. Movement instantly became a lot easier. I'm able to get info and actually contest while entering, so I definitely recommend learning a higher sensitivity if you are playing on a slow one. And at this point, it was getting late at night, so I decided to slow things down and just learn the weapon reset time. Like, how long does it take for recoil to reset? Because this is really important in resetting your spray and how often you should tap. And this led me to the most overpowered spreadsheet for this specific need. It had so much data, I couldn't even comprehend what I was looking at. If I spray stop and then just spray instantly again, my spray is going to be all the way up there again. But if I wait half a second, okay, so that seems right. The new Premier game modes showed me how much of a bot I am on maps that aren't Dust 2, Mirage, and Cache. So I'm learning map awareness on the rest. Map awareness is just knowing where your teammates are, where enemies could potentially be, and where they'll rotate from and such like that. So I hopped on each map that I wasn't familiar with and just walked through them to see different paths and angles that could be held, while also taking note of how long it takes to rotate from one side to the other. And at this point, I was getting really tired, so I got off, went to bed, and overslept. Now I only have 2 hours left to learn the rest of these skills, so let's hurry up. I'm awful at opping in CS2. It's something with the scopes, okay? So I added in scoping as one of the last skills because it's more of a personal thing. And another personal thing is peeking in CS2. It just feels off for me. I feel like the hitboxes might be a little visually delayed, but learning to jiggle peek is one of the most important and basic ways to peek. Jiggle peeking is peeking enough to visually see the enemy and fall back. A lot of people instantly re-peek after a jiggle and just get instantly deleted. So if you wait a few seconds, it can throw off the enemy. Just like this skill, which is gonna help with your game sense and takes 0 skill to learn. Learning how to silent jump. If you jump onto stairs and press S right before you land, you won't make any noise, allowing you to peek stairs more effectively than just stomping up there. And the last 2 skills are universal for all competitive games. Skill number 23 is mentality. Every Counter-Strike player has played with a toxic teammate that either shit talks or runs down mid because of one wrong play. And it's okay to rage behind the mic, but actually shit talking to your team is pointless. And the best way to practice this is by not being a cunt. And most important, skill number 24, learning how to use it all together. All these skills that we just learned together are basically useless if we can't use them all together. So now I'm gonna finally play Counter-Strike 2 and use these new skills I learned in these matches to wipe the floor with these globals. My first game, I had a teammate with 0 kills in 15 rounds, so we ended up kicking him. But that's actually very impressive, right? Never give up, never what?
Dude.
The next game, I was versing a team with 20k points, and we had a player that literally did not join. And I started to lose hope. I thought I would never find a pro player again in my server. But then, my friend hopped on the mic and said,
Yo, Miniker used to be a pro player, I think. He has a bunch of pros added.
we have a pro. It's good to go. Let's go.
Flashing? Wait, I've messed up. Flashing again?
Too fucking late.
They're blind.
2 up mid.
Nice.
Oh,
one firebox. Nice. That's
bomb down. Nice, dude. Realistically, you should have fallen back.
I just underhanded a flash and got stanky with it. One out, yeah.
2 out. Wow.
Up cat.
Clear up cat.
3 cat, going up, 3 cat. They're going now. They're gonna peek you. Saw you, Gabe. 3 cat. Just Play for cat, yeah. Bombi. In market. Nice! Let's go! I knew you were gonna win every one of those duels.
Nice.
Yo, there's 2-8. One triple, one default. Triple and default, and cat. Let's go.
He's out.
Yeah, you wanna molly windows, Citrus? He's tagged, like, nice.
Let's go. We did it, you guys. We ended up beating the X-Pro Miniger, but he also ended up being a model instead. So I don't think we really won here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then you're gonna love this crosshair challenge video that I did on CS2. Just click the box to watch the video.